from the get-go. Kalong among funumshin ngamalala. Bishupega ngakulega kwenyamalala. Amapupo amatisha shabalala. Ikamala sabalala. Chi halalala. Apamangam. Apamangam. Yeah. Apamangam. Hey. Welcome to it. It's the first episode of my live podcast. Homeless Raza in the building. It's been very real, man. Big shout out to Makwa. We've got him on the show. Amazing. The very first interview on the couch. For anyone who's watching out there who has no idea what's going on, what's up, everybody? Welcome to it. The very first episode of my podcast. Brand new live stream podcast is called The Life So Far or The Life Sofa. It's all perspective, right? So on this show, on this couch, is where you and I get to talk about the things that really, really affect Impilo itself. So we're going to be sharing stories. We're going to be sharing opinions on topics. We're going to be sharing just a bunch of things. We're going to be sharing interviews. And most of all, I'm going to be sharing the platform with you guys. Every single week, one of you gets a chance to ask a direct question to one of my guests who will always be influential people. They may not be influencing the entire world at once, but they're definitely influential. Today is no exception with Makwa, and LTD has a chance to ask his question. And then we're also going to be having a co-host. Each podcast episode will have one of you guys as a co-host. I'm really looking forward to that part. It's the first of its kind. As far as I know, this is the very first podcast that is streamed live. The premiere of the podcast is live. And as far as I know, this is the only podcast where the co-host is the viewer. Okay, we're going to get in touch with our first co-host on the first episode ever. His name is Braillo man, Mr. Bully. By the way, that was Carvo Orange featuring myself, produced by Tuso. Really, really dope guy. We've got an incredible interview lined up for you guys. His name is Makwa. Twana says Sliqe. And what's going on? That's amazing.
Yo.
Except Braillo and Mr. Bully.
Nanglum Swati.
Ngitawufika eMelika ngirepe ngeSwati.
Angifuni cherry yokupaka.
Nami ngifuna ngithola into yokupaka. Nami ngifuna imoto ngithola into yokupaka.
Nami ngifuna lisaka ngiyawuthenga ngokupaka.
Oh, there we go. Ugrand mfethu.
Angimnandi wena.
I've been better. I wish I was better. This network is showing me flames right now, bro.
Yeah, I've just noticed like it has been doing its things on the net.
Yeah, dog. Yende njani ngalapho? Kuyabonakala.
Yeah, ngala kuyabonakala and but it's pana pose, so I don't know if it's my network or
no, it's not
but
you.
I think it's not my side, right?
No, it's the whole thing. It's rain, man. It's rain. Rain has absolutely destroyed my very first episode of this live stream, of this podcast. Hey. Hi.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, ngicela ukhulume nebantu batshele ukuthi wena ungubani, ungakuphi wendani.
Braillo is a boy from Mpumalanga. Yeah, labangathi ngakosikala ligama lami ngiglen isibongo ngakamatsane ngamongena straight all the way from Nelspruit. I do hip hop music, ngirepa ngeSiswati.
Yes sir.
Lokulwimi lengikhuluma lona ekhaya.
That's actually how I first got wind of you. You sent in your music and I was just so amazed. Ukuva umuntu arapa ngeSiswati. And for me, do you remember what I said to you about the song?
Yeah, I remember the
Ngathini?
You said what caught you about the song is that I rap in Siswati, and that is very rare.
It is. It really, really is very, very rare. And I think it's an incredible testament. It's an incredible testament to what can happen when, you know, when someone is so in tune with who they are and where they are, and then they lean into it, you know. I think sing abantu abasha sometimes sinamahloni kakhulu ukuthi representa, you know. We were very reluctant to represent ourselves, and siyasaba
kakhulu. We're so ashamed of our culture.
Yeah.
Which kuyinto le silimathako kakhulu, because we shouldn't like adapt style sabo Melika kakhulu, which is not wrong. Which is not wrong. I truly support that, but we shouldn't forget about our culture. We shouldn't forget on who we are, our roots, where we come from.
Yeah.
Because like siyawadinga like ma-rituals ethu sikhombise live ukuthi okay, uma kune-culture yemaswati kusuka kukhulumwa ngayo.
Exactly.
And kuyenteka ukuthi umuntu acule ngelwimi lakhe, kwenteke tintfo beside English.
Kakhulu. And I mean, for me, it's very important, man. And, you know, kunenye podcast lengicalileko bathi ilendo le bathi ebandla podcast. Podcast leyo itodlala ngama Thursdays yona ingesizulu kuphela. The whole podcast ingesizulu. Podcast MarazA co-hosted by Imikondo. And you know, the reason ngiqalele podcast and the reason ngiyenza ibe isiZulu kuphela is not because I think Zulu is the best language. It's not because I think Zulus are the best tribe. No.
Yeah.
Ngizama nje ukuqhakambisa ubumina. I'm trying to show young people out there that we're lucky. We live in a country that has 11 official languages, and only 2 of those are from Europe. The rest are from here. So all 9 languages, you know, all 9 major tribes are represented. And it's important for us to be proud of it. Like, for me, there's nothing I love more than watching vendor kids do vendor things. There's nothing I love more than watching Tswana kids do Tswana things. So I don't just love my culture. I love culture, all in all. You know?
Yeah.
What do you see? Do you see it as, what are you seeing out there in young people? Especially now, for anyone who doesn't know, you're also a radio presenter, right?
Yes, I am.
What station are you on? What show do you host?
I'm on Vibrant FM.
Vibrant FM?
Radio. Yeah.
Okay. Where's that?
FM it's an online radio station. I host an hip hop show called Hip Hop Paparazzi.
Called Hip Hop Paparazzi.
Which is a combination of hip hop and paparazzi.
Yep.
So yeah, it's our station that it was built by our fellow brothers from around Game. As I told you, I'm from around Game. In our young Alina Sport.
Yes. So fellow Mpumalangians.
Yeah, fellow Mpumalangi. We can call it that way. And I'm super proud because we're like 4 months running the station, but we're almost reaching 200K people listening online on daily basis.
You're almost reaching how many?
200K people.
Wow! Braillo, 200,000?
So amazing, man.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, and we appreciate the love that everyone is giving us. Because even basis now, it's not only from Mpumalanga.
Yeah. That sounds brilliant, bro. That sounds brilliant.
And then besides radio, I do acting.
Yeah, I've seen your skits. Your skits are amazing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. I do comedy skits and flexible. I can do many characters at once. Yeah, and people are falling in love with my content. My subscribers are growing.
That's brilliant, man. On your YouTube channel, Braillo TV.
Yeah, and I would also like to appreciate your love on the skills, bro. Like, ever since you reacted to those, man,
Yeah.
people have been wilding on it.
Oh yeah. Ikas lako sila
Yes,
notice.
yeah.
That's dope. That is dope. That is really dope. I like that.
Thank you so much, brother.
Nyalo ke mna katshela mina how is like the grassroots level in your hood, because nyazi when you're a rapper but you're also on
Yeah,
online, you're also on online radio. Do you think that young
yeah.
artists ikakhulukazi around in yakwakho, do you think that young artists know what they're getting themselves into? Are they equipped properly for the industry? Or do they all just think that they just need to have someone who's going to do something for them and that's it?
According to my perspective, when I look at the young musicians around my hood, some of them, like let me say, some of them are so passionate with music.
Yeah.
They love music. And I don't think they are equipped enough. I don't know. I'm not sure if they know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
Because Mangithi Yabuga, like, I think there's more pride than hustle.
Ooh, more pride than hustle.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Because one little achievement, anyone does not go to gigs anymore. If you don't pay me, I will not show up. Which is not good for an upcoming artist.
At all.
In my own perspective.
At all. It's not good at all.
Yes. And one thing I also realize is that they always looking up for someone who's going to lift their hands as they ride.
True.
It's like I'm sitting back there and I'm watching MarazA climbing the stairs. MarazA cut me. Now I gotta chill.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely terrible. And I don't know why. More and more young people are doing that. In an era where more and more young people actually have the means to do it themselves.
Yeah. And it's totally wrong. But what makes me happy is that it's not all of them. It's not all of them.
Yeah, at least.
Bakhona abantu lang pusha nabo besides the collaboration.
Yeah.
And what I love the most is like most of them they are looking up to me.
That's dope.
Like, yeah, and some of them they reach out to me and ask for advice. Braillo, to that step la ukhona khona manje wende njani ukuze ufike la. Then I tell them what I have.
That's
offer
dope.
what I have.
That's dope.
By that time. Yeah.
No, that's dope.
And there's this also these people that I know Braillo is a dude he's gonna lift my hand as I rise.
Yeah.
And you know it's impossible to help everyone at once.
Of course, you can't. You're just one man. And also, you still need help yourself. So
yes, that's true.
It's not even like you're already fully fledged. But tell me something, Gay. So now what is it that you are doing differently? Because when I think about it, right, if I go back in the days, me now when I was starting out, like I literally went out and found a job while I was in high school. And it's funny, we're going to be talking to Makwa later on, and I think he had something similar as well because we've had a chance to talk before. But I literally went out, and I started working. Yeah. And then from working, I was paying rent and paying school fees in late grade 11 and grade 12 and running around trying to get performances.
Yeah.
So I went out and did it myself. And I started buying studio equipment. And then I started using that studio equipment to get more studio equipment and better studio equipment. What are you doing differently? What are you doing to go out there and make it yourself?
All right, like to push my hustle, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Currently, I'm working at As a View. There's another shop called PhotoFest. I used to go there since I was at high school. They used to call me on holidays. Exams. Yeah, I used to go there, and I would use that money. I would take that small amount of money and pay my graphic designer.
Yeah.
So there's this one day back in 2017, I sketched my own brand, which has my name and
nice.
And my tag, which is 1 million.
Nice.
I don't know if you've noticed that on my post I used to write Mr. 1 million.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, actually, Mr. 1 million comes from a song that I did long ago, and people loved it.
Yeah.
Like I was hitting those punchlines. The name of the song is called 1 million. So everybody called me 1 million. So I sketched down my name with the hashtag 1 million. Then I made a T-shirt.
That's dope.
And people loved it. Yeah, and so people loved it.
And people started buying it.
And people started buying it. Even today, they still buying it.
Wow.
And and with that small amount I get, I can afford studio time. I will use that money to go to the studio, do a song, maybe do some photo shoots for my profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's
I
really
also
dope.
I've also did a Nanglum Swati brand merchandise.
I think that's going to be hot. That one I think is going to be really hot.
It slapped hard, bro.
Yeah.
It slapped hard.
I can imagine. There's a lot of people who are going to find value in it. But your story is very inspiring, my man. It's really inspiring. I've been loving following you. And someone else who has a really, really inspiring story that I'd like us to go check out right now. His name is Makwa, aka Makwa Beats. He is the originator of the Mzonkonko sound and actually involved in a lot more South African music than you had given him credit for. He's produced for the likes of KWESTA. He's produced for the likes of AKA recently. He's produced for me. I've worked on songs with him. He's even worked with Rich Homie Kwan, among so many. The bulk of KWESTA's recent hits, they all touched by this guy and they all have the Mzonkonko sauce in them. I sat down with Makwa earlier on to check out how his life is so far. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. As I had said earlier, I've got a very, very dear friend of mine and an absolute monster in the music industry. He's known by many names. Twana 6, Mzonkonko, Neo.
2 times 3.
Twana 2 times 3. Umakwa. Ukwizas, Makwa Beats. Someone of it. I'm all right, dog. I'm all right. Umuntu ongawazi, asithi there's someone who's been chilling under a rock somewhere and bapapa njengamanje babona podcast and abakwazi uzothi kubona Uber.
Yeah, to abantu abangangazi ngintwana 2 times 3 i-producer manje sengiyacula ngicula ngize ngiculeke they know.
Yeah.
And ngazana no MarazA futhi. Yeah, mawungangazi mina ngena lapha kuma Google vele uthi Makwa Beats Fago 6 Gupi. You'll know who I am.
Igama langempela.
Yes, igama lami langempela nguNeo. Leli lingangifuni ukulisho Makwa. Makwa is the name yami by the way. Mawungazi uMakwa is the name yami. Akusi stage name or anything like
what
that.
What mhlobo are you?
Kimo Africa.
Washa.
No, like for real. Thing is, I don't know ukuthi ubaba wami ubuyaphi.
Oh, okay.
Angazi ithakazelo zasekhaya. Like there's so much that I don't know esayidini la kababa wami.
Asivele sesiqala lapho ke awusiyami. Why ungamazi ubaba ukuthi uphumaphi?
Well, umama wangitshela ukuthi ubaba bam-adopter. Ukuze afike la bekahlala khona eKimberley. Because kula mina ngazi abuya khona. Kanti initially noma mama akazi ubuyaphi.
Hey son. Ukuphi ubaba right now?
Sewashona. Washona bengenza grade 3 I think. Yeah, safika isifo sika gawulayo.
Yeah.
You know back in the days.
Yeah, bekungakabikho fethi izinto zakhona.
And the most fucked up part is ushona kanje akakangintroduce to like abantwana bakhe abayi2 engizwe ngabo ukuthi baya exist. Till today I haven't met them, I don't know them. Anye ngibakhombe nokubakhomba.
So as umuntu manje osay timer yourself, mina ngiyazazi nje mina personally, like I, you know, whenever we talk about ubaba wami, ngi-grand dog washona 1992, ayikho into ebuhlungu kumina at all. Nothing hurts until I start looking at my children. Ngizibuza ukuthi what would my father think, like approval yakhe, you know?
Yeah.
What would he think? Kuphela. I don't wish he was back in. It's just like that feeling with yo, if I could just hear him say he's proud of me, if I could just hear him say the way that I'm raising his grandkids is good. Wena, how does ukungabi nobaba affect you now that wena usubaba?
Well, first of all, I want to highlight on my music, especially because Koningomeng feature Oprikwana.
Yeah.
We talk about our fathers. So ingomeni kunala ngithi ngiyazibuza ukuthi uyangibona na, ngiyazibuza ukuthi uyazichenya ngami. Bengidinga umama ehluleka, ngikudinga umama ekhuleka. So fast forward now that I have 2 kids.
Congratulations, mfowethu, ibusiso lezo.
Faka ipipi. Yes. So ngiyazibuza like uke wabona mawukhulu bamdala.
Yeah.
Life like ifana newine, iba like yamachora, iba realer and realer. Ngihlezi ngitshela abangani bami ukuthi ukukhula akusukudlala, like it's a serious thing.
Yeah, it is.
So you must take it serious. So lento ukuthi ubaba makangekho, well angekho manje, ing affecte ekutheni number 1 angisebenzisa isibongo sakhe.
Yeah, usebenzise olady.
Yeah. And that means automatically ingane zami kumele zisebenzise isibongo se-olady because mina ngisebenzisa sona. So into ebuhlungu kakhulu lana wena MarazA ukuthi ama-roots awekho.
Yeah.
They are not there. Like they are not there.
So isihlahla sakhona asikhuli kahle.
Asikhuli because asikho. Aside like ababa mangilazi, I don't even know nokuthi bayazi. Well, I wouldn't know ukuthi kuze kanjani bam adopte, abe orphan and all of those things, mara maybe abo cousin bamdala ngihlangana nabo emashowini ngizula ngingazi nokuthi abo cousin babo
ubanemba.
Yeah, you know those type of things.
Yeah,
you never
happens.
know. Siyahamba siyabona siyenza izinto yabo. Like a doomed story type of thing.
Damn.
Mara I'm glad I'm here. Yabo ngilithe emhlabeni ngibona nami ngizambela indlela yami.
I'm glad you're here, mfethu. It's very interesting for me ukuzwa ukuthi you actually have that backstory, because you strike me as out ozaziyo. Like, you know who you are, you know your worth, even though you don't know the roots. But the fact that you are aware ukuthi kudingeka izimpande and you don't know them, for me already tells me that you're a man who is serious about ukukhula and becoming, you know, a father and living and leaving behind a legacy.
Yeah.
How do you then shape the identity lesesiyaziyo manje? Because anyone who listens to South African music knows Makwa is a beast, and you can hear Makwa's sound from a mile away. You can hear Makwa's rhymes from a mile away. Kune ingoma esenge ngazizwa ngithi ziproduce uwe mara kuwena, because his signature yakho is so infectious. How did you craft le image le osunayo manje?
Well, I wouldn't say I crafted it. I would say uNkulunkulu uyebuild the way ngakhona, because number 1 ngi strong believer yabo from ekhaya vele. So ukukhuliswa na abantu besimame dlala irole enkulu yabo, like a very big role. Even though ekhaya they didn't support the idea of me making music. Mara egcineni baze babona nabo. So mina into ebengihlezi nginayo in my mind kakhulu ukuthi mawenza music mele ngikuzwe ukuthi ubuyaphi.
Yes.
Mele ngazi ngelife yakho ungakakhulumi nix
before ngize ngikubuze.
Yeah, through your music. Mangihlangana nawe ngithi oh Razo ubuya le Stenga khulelele nale yabo izinto eziyayo because izinto ozikhuluma emusicini. So I feel like isound lami mina ngifuna libe well futhi hayi nokuthi ngifuna libe njalo selinjalo ukuthi you know ukuthi ngibuye emzonkongo ngibuya lelo kushini.
Don't I say 2 times 3 or 3 times 2.
Bengiye esikolweni ngetaxi ekhumbazayo enesabo.
Yeah.
Mamela ikwaito, mamela abo DJ Cleo, abo trompisi like music wakudala nje. Well into ehlekisa the most ukuthi ikhabe bangazidlali lengoma.
Wa bebedlala enkonzweni ekhaya.
Gospel usho kahle enkonzweni, gospel the whole time.
Yeah.
Mama bekacule esontweni nami bangiculisa kancane. I tried ukudlala ipiano ngahluleka because ngibone too abstract for me.
Oh, the multi-piano will show the instrument, not the genre.
Not Amapiano.
Yeah,
yeah. And I'll tell you a story about Amapiano as well.
Yes, I'd love to get to that story.
So, music give me bekuyinto engisurroundile mara angiyenzanga the way ekhaya bebafuna ukuthi
uyenze ngakhona.
Phela umama beyafuna ngibe upastor. Ngibheke manje namathathu ngenza ipop bebathi ngisebenzele uSathane qobo lwakhe.
Uzovela ube idevil phela mangabe usune plus emakhaya futhi mangabe ihip hop vele kuthi useyahlanya.
Yeah.
Usehlanyisa because if you're into hip hop. Yeah, plus uzohamba mawuvaya angithi gijima ama lyrics ekhanda.
Yeah.
Uzogcina urapper why yakuthiwa sekahlanya ngisho amaphepha. Into abantu abangayazi ke kodwa is and this is going to get to the Amapiano part, but into abantu abangayazi is before you were known as a hip hop producer, before ilokungana, excuse me, before inoma yini ne?
Yeah. Before King's Speech.
Wasn't it noma yini first?
King's Speech first.
Sayazi before noma yini?
Yes.
I nami mele ngiphume endlini. Alright, before you got known as KWESTA's producer, you actually made some hit house songs.
A lot.
And that is where you got your first taste yokuthi industry akusi umngani wakho.
Yeah. And
tell us about that.
You see, around that time inkinga beyiwona ukuthi benganalwazi oluningi.
Yeah.
And I would advise namanje ukuthi if you are a young and upcoming producer or if you wanna produce or ube ku music industry, kumele wenze research ngezinto ezisimple like music law and contracts.
Yep.
Internet, I feel like abantu abaningi abayivakasheli.
Next.
Because nami bengekho clued up then. If I knew the things that I know now, then ngabe sikhuluma stories different. Mara enye into futhi ngifila ngathi ama gatekeepers and ama OGs we game. They do things deliberately. Yazi ezinye zezinto we don't have to go there just cause sizwa abathi music industry it's a cutthroat industry bese wena ngoba dala
ngoba kuthiwa ku cutthroat vele sewukhatha ama throats.
Yayibona lento le cause like for me na like that's messed up.
It is
in so many ways.
It is.
Knowing ukuthi uthatha into yomuntu ongana nix ozizamelayo. Bro, I didn't even get ama monitor or MIDI keyboard ithiwa nayi MIDI qhubeka lapho produce. Nothing.
Lento yenzile iblind and we want you to keep doing it, so thatha la. Nothing.
Like ngabe we out umuntu omdala you actually care about futhi it's not even about me, it's about the South African industry
because and your contribution is heavy. You
see those type of things, so abantu benza izinto deliberately. And another thing nathi abantu abayang mele siphume sifune research. Ungena ku internet ukubheke nje ubhale ukuthi contract injani yini ama terms wayo izinto ezilula nje izinto engakhulunywa ngazo like akukhulunywa ngezinto eziningi until umuntu simbone seka messed up
sekubhlungu sekadinga usizo.
Yayibona lento le because nami yobe ngiku position ukuthi ngithi hayi futhi ngayingala ne house
wavela yiyela straight
pop. Yeah. Because bese ngidinwe nayi the way izinto bezenzeka ngakhona yabo angali igame inama stumbling blocks
yes.
Mara ama stumbling blocks abantu bawenza
bafike bawabeke nje umuntu avela afika ayibeke engena sidingo.
First time yami ngesentini bengiye ku meeting engibe nayo umuntu bekandlula enza shopping mara uthe ngize ku meeting afika lapha nempintshi yami sahlala simlindile. I remember besewimpi spend imali yami yokugcina ngiyesentini ngamateksi kunethi imvula for a meeting engakazi ibe khona. And the person was just walking by.
Andlule nje.
Yeah, zangitholakala nesent emnyama.
Mara umuntu wakhona.
I'm actually glad because yangivula ingqondo lento le.
Hayi mfana. Le nto le ikuvula ingqondo ngokuthi kaphe ekhanda. What hit house songs have you made?
Well,
if you can talk about
it. I'm free. Yaphuma under Fistas, and I was with my friend Masenza Leyo ngoma.
I am free,
DJ Hlon. Yeah, I am free. And then ingoma eziningi as a house bengizenza mara they never got chance ukuthi yabo kube ingoma ezizophuma zaziwa abantu.
Yes.
Okay, in short, bengenza music ngoba ngiyawuthanda.
Yeah.
Bengayenza music ngoba ngifuna lifestyle or whatever that comes with it.
But that doesn't mean ukuthi you don't need to survive ngako, and too often we industry abantu get taken advantage of, especially abantu abasebancane, because bazi ukuthi senza ngepassion.
Yeah.
You know, senzela for uthando. Did you ever see ama royalties before when blow up, before when ube famous? Wathola ama royalties akho from those songs?
No, I've never got any royalties.
Even to this day?
Nada. Algazi is split shit says it's okay, mina ngithola this percentage and stuff. No, it never happened.
So now what have you done after that? So uyafika manje so uphuma kwi-house, now you start doing hip hop.
Before sifika ku hip hop ngazama ukuya ema courts yabo ma lawyer
tried, yeah.
And then I found out ukuthi mawufuna ukulwela imali yakho udinga imali, and kulanga give up khona because akomale ayikho bengana mali you can't put up a fight nomuntu already there ophethe imali established wena ungana next. I mean,
and lo muntu lo uzokulwa ngayo le mali le kumele ngabe uyishare nawe.
Yeah,
they'll use the same money to fight you to keep you from getting your peace.
Yayibona lento le and yenziwa umuntu omnyama emuntwini omnyama
abang. Now, what's the Amapiano story over there? Because I feel like it links in lapho somehow to your relationship with
the Amapiano story. Nayo le ngoma engiproduceile nomngane wami yaziwa. We were doing Amapiano singazi ukuthi senza Amapiano.
Wow.
This was before kuzoduma ama-lock drum nani. Cause uForce MarazA
it's a lock or a log
drum.
Oh, leya kuyi-Fruity Loops vele le
DX10.
Yes, the drum machine yaku-Fruity.
That's the guy.
Fruity Loops 5 or 6 kanje.
Actually leyo like leyo plugin ku-lock drum abantu abenze yaba popular bekumdu trap nobongs. So thina nomngane wami nabo Force we-MFR Souls.
Yep.
Best producer sonke like way back. And then ukubona like isound mawulumamela manje ngicompare nengoma bengizenza kudala uyezwa the similarities.
Yes.
I won't take away from Amapiano ngithi lento iqalwe yimi nani because into ungayicala khona abantu abazoyiperfect.
Yes, bayiqhubeze bayise phambili.
Wena ungazi nokuthi yini bayinike negama bagijime nayo izibe perfect, izibe ilento eyiyo today. Because no Force MFR Souls wayefundiswa yimi iproduction beka producer yena Fede mara ebeka ngekho mnandi fund one.
Yes, kusamele ukuthi umuntu
we even fought on Facebook about that because indaba mina ngisuke ngibe blunt too much. Ngisuke ngibhale ngithi ekuseyawuthi yami uproduce umsangano uthi yami yabo kwaliwa abantu bathi wena unomona nani yabo bekuyiflop the way ngisho ngakhona Fede mara wabona naye ukuthi no man that lay ring ivari yabo because wazela yena wathi kuse ayongikhombise lento ukuthi yenziwa kanjani because mina ngihleli ngayicabanga.
For me, that's a man.
Ngaxolisa the way ngikhulume ngakhona ku Facebook and then ngambonisa ukuthi izinto zihamba kanjani until mina ngiphuma da.
So today, how is the relationship namachita, especially MFR?
Simnandi.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Well, you know, in the industry kuzoba nabantu ohlangana nabo ne, and then abantu ohlangana nabo iningi labo sohlangana ngento e1 fede and then kuzoba nabantu abafuna ukuskima just cause
yes
yabo and then labo bantu labo uzozula nabo anyway maybe ngize nabo kuwe nini ngibona sebaskime wena yabo wena so kumele sayidini manje and into abantu abaningi abayimistake ayo ukuthi ukuba yi1 espacing sakho like just having your own space let's say ufuna ukuminimalize nabantu abakusurroundile akusintembi leyo akusintembi so abantu basitshe ukuthi oh le ayile yahlali hambi1 emotweni yayo
I blow me nama out
yabo lezo zinto lezo abantu bazi mistake so lezo zinto zibanga ama conflicts outside the music manje because as akusasa kuthiwa sihlangane ngomusic sekuyi le yangicoka le ivana le yangikhathaza la imali yabo lezo zinto lezo mara relationship is right anye ngijule lapho because yabo angifuna ama vibes
no completely understand
mara simnandi nama gents I was actually on their album yeah
and yazi inenye abantu
abanga record label yabo ngayilethele artist elishisayo yabo lezo zinto lezo
nice look man for me it's interesting what to say. You're not trying to take away from Amapiano. You're not trying to come and say you're the founder. You know, sometimes people start something and then others perfect it.
Yes.
And that's the same na go hip hop. But the difference is go hip hop siyazi ukuthi who to credit as the first people. If you look at your hip hop history, we are born back in the Bronx. So before Abo Cool Herc, even before Sugar Hill and the gang. Siyabazi abantu bakhona, I can't mention them off the top of the dome njengamanje, but siyabazi, and I'm really hoping now hopefully one day soon. Hopefully sisaphila so too, because I'd love to see it. Hopefully now you'll get your props and your recognition. And into engithanda kakhulu ngawe is you've sazane for many years before you told me that story.
Yeah, it was.
It's not something beside.
No.
You know? And what a lot of people might not understand is sikhuluma kanje ngayo lento because mina nawe siyazana. I've never seen you tell that story to umuntu oqeda ukuhlangana naye.
Yeah, I actually don't tell them nokuthi ngenza music. Iningi labo mababuyele emuva bangibona iTV masihlangana futhi bathi hey wawungathi like akusinto engigijimisile life in leyo. Yabo so naso le story lesa bekungasi into vele like that I dwell on it ukuthi njalo la mangifika khona mele ngikhulume le story lesi nani giving ngithathe as lesson and a part of me I'm glad ukuthi yenzakele because I wouldn't know ukuthi bengizobe ngikuphi if ayenzakalanga lento le bengizobe ngizirelaxele banginike 5,000 yard ngizitshela ukuthi hayi yonke into
on
and there's more to it
and there is more to it and I'm really glad ukuthi you've ended up seeing that there's more to it, but a lot of people might not understand just how hard you work and how much you invest.
Abantu abazi ngithatha Fruity Loops la
awubheke
ngayenza umngani wami umca he passed away actually
RIP
we wangenza le tattoo le because I bought my first Fruity Loops 2006 nge10 rand
uyithenge kumuntu ke le
uyawuthi beyenza ama computer ithola ama software
nama crack
nakhona benyochayiza nakhona but I know buza ubafo ukuthi akanayo le software because udila ngama computer yabo ilezi ezikinstolela ama uyazi kasi khona le dila ngama computer ngathola iFruity Loops nge10 rand Diamond today mangibone kasi benginokumvuza umthethe ekuse ebone 10 rand le uthi ngifikise
so lutho akasakhumbuli yena
he knows Pelekaslam a lot of people because I was a DJ a lot of people don't know I was a DJ ngama video wami quarantine
yes actually you were going live during quarantine
I started out as a DJ because uDJ bekajola nosisi wami so ngathi wena mawufuna usisi wami ebusuku uze mina ngibizele wena mina
ngifaka
because abo DJ bakudala bebakhala ngamanaliti wama LP inama turntable ngisho ama CDJ wangakafiki mina manje ngiba interested ek DJ
yes
so my bek DJ ngalama
so uyi vinyl vele u DJ we vinyl
ngisuka kuma vinyl
that's OG
Amaserato lezo zinto lezo zifike sezifika later bese ngasana ndaba futhi nok DJ because of what happened mara into yangeke suk DJ more than anything beku mama
why
because bengambe ebusuku ngiyo DJ.
Safety.
And then later in life sengimdala kanje I realized ukuthi abazali bethu as much as ba overprotective nabo bayabulala amaphupho wethu.
Yes bayabulala
because iphupho lokudija lafa like ngasabi ne-interest because ngithi
ixabanisa ne-old age
ngangayeka like 888 bengithanda ukudija MarazA bengizula yonke indawo ngidijela mahala ngidijela ukuthi let's say ngizofika ngilinde bese bangidijayisa ipart seyizovala ukuthi ngibasiza ukukhipha then the next weekend maybe ngidj next weekend but hayi uzodj yahlala la ngise ngiyokukhipha ngadj yami yabo lezo zinto lezo.
So it's not even ukuthi wena bewungaholi to DJ bewubhadala to DJ cause phela that's bakudlalisa khona uzospan ukuke
EP kuke EP kene bawasinda lama bass pin wala phayani yo bawasinda serious mara bekuyinto bengiyithanda like I've always had an interest kuyo ngikhumbula nakathi sakijimisa ubukhothana nabangani bami all
I was as Khotan but now I don't look like a clown.
All the time abangani bami abagijimisa ifebe kubnandi yabo plus ebanganini uzoba naloko okunemali yabo udala kuphela kube nalo vele othandwa intombi nani mina bengihlala ngile ku DJ Boot ngibuza uDJ le button landi abanye bebadineka bangixoshe abanye they were happy to say ukuthi oh le pitch le ingoma uyifaka kanje so uDJ ngakubona lapho kancane until ngifind out ukuthi sisi wami ujwala no DJ and then I was in.
That's dope, man. Look, you've mentioned ukuthi wawungena ngokuthi ukuke ibig. You've been grinding for so long and so hard. And mangabe I was looking at what you were doing during lockdown. Lockdown vethu isifundisile ukuthi one, everyone needs somebody. But two, when days are dark, friends are few.
That's true.
You've been so much to so many people. How much loyalty exists in the game? I mean, I can just imagine. Mina ngeke ngikhona ukubiza umuntu ngithi kuye, yo zwakala lo mara uzodlala. Angadlali. Still ngimkhukisa ibhika. And then ngingazizwe ngathi lo muntu lo sekuyimina or something. Do you find that gaming, is it easy to find people ababa loyal when you are loyal to them, or is it every dog for himself?
Well, Indaba, there's this one thing I've always said. As much as loyalty balekile, loyalty abulala futhi.
Yeah. There's no coincidence loyalty starts with an L.
Cause MarazA, abanye abantu angafuna ukukufilisa ukuthi wena ula ngoba yimi.
Yes.
Ayisho loyo muntu loyal kuyi.
Yeah.
And already loyalty seyakhawathi. So njengoba bekufika lockdown. Yazi lockdown ingivula amehlo nengqondo.
I know, trust me.
Kula ngibone khona ukuthi ekuse like every man for himself. Yabo? Because abanye abantu bayenza izinto baphenika. And ekuphenikeni kwabo bachuna ama-flop. Lawa bazowa realize later ukuthi bayenza ama-flop. Abanye bathatha ama-decisions bangacabangi ukuthi kunama casualties.
Yes.
Yayibona lento le.
Akalendaba, looking out for number one.
Yeah, ngisho yena umnandi. Wena mawumnandi, you don't care ukuthi ekuse, le outlay inengcosi leyana. And le outlay lena since sisuka sonke ukuthi siyi family. And then family makumele isipane nokuthi sibuya somewhere. Iyalekha somewhere. Others they do show sympathy vele abonisa ukukhathala yabo lezo zinto lezo mara abanye isimo esokuthi ekuse umuntu angakukhulumi kabi yabo. So uzoba lapho just cause loyo muntu angakukhulumi blind nani. And then others they realize later sebenza ama decisions ukuthi ekuse no man yazi bengenza i decision eyiflop. Amanye understand bowuthukile uthusa ukuthi izinto zaphetha la mina nginomndeni kumele kube yibo abaza kucala yabo lezo zinto lezo forgetting ukuthi eksele umuntu lobo ugrinder naye uyaphansi phezulu naye ningalali lo naye ukuse position now into eningayenza ukuthi nibambisane yabo So i-COVID mina ngibonisele ukuthi ubani. Raza kunabantu abaplan into abafuna ukuyenza iminyaka until sifike leso sikhathi leso. And then uzobona ngayo ukuthi wena umephi elifini yakho or wena ume kuphi elifini yakhe. Umuntu akufonela akubuza ukuthi impilo ihamba kanjani. Azi kahle ukuthi kuyabheda.
Yes. Mara akekho interested in the answer. I've mina into sengiyibonile yazi sesiyasho nje sometimes ukuthi kunjani ugrand. Mara sibuzi ngoba sifuna ukwazi. Ubuza because kuyabuzwa.
Yeah, you trying to find out ukuthi hey le ngisayicindezela kancanyana. Khona umuntu onokubuza ukuthi ugrand bafu right yonke into because ufuna ukufind out ukuthi awenzi ngcono na than you expected. Yayibona lento le.
Because if you start doing better you start becoming dangerous to abanye abantu.
You can know umuntu iminyaka bese akukhombise ukuthi yena ubani.
In one move.
Yeah. And uzombona ukuthi ubani. And into fucked up the most ukuthi nazana nonke and then sekumele ukhethe ukuthi okay lo makakhuluma kumele ngimamele lo makakhuluma omunye uzokutshela into eyela le yathi ekuse hambe kubani wena umtshele ukuthi ukukolotha imali engaka bese wena uyahlala uyacabanga ukuthi mari out yami le out yakho sama out sonke why mele manje ngisukeleke nje ngilanda umuntu ngithi ekuse Diamond uthi wena uphethe into engaka yami yabo lezo zinto lezo. So ukwenzakala kweCovid nako kube ilesson to know ukuthi where do you stand empilweni zabanye abantu. Because now I know better now.
Yeah man, that's a worthwhile lesson.
More than anything I'm happy ukuthi mina I'm free. Angikho kulabel angisayinwanga umuntu. It was a blessing in disguise.
Speaking of label out here, you were part of Rap Life. I don't know to what extent you were part of Rap Life. I don't even know if you were signed. But kunezinto eziningi esenzekile over the last few months. Most of them kwamina angizazi because I spend a lot of time ngivalekile. But I know ukuthi certain Unot has been trending. There's people talking about fights enzeka online in the public space. Next thing I know, Usenzo is no longer a part of Rap Life. What the hell is going on? And this is coming from someone building something that looked amazing.
You are actually closer to us because
bengiza
all the time.
And it says we span.
But
sometimes so KWESTA ngimaze before you. Unota ngimaze before you. Even Leroy, I knew Leroy before you. I knew a lot of people before you. I think Gobi I might have known him around the same time. But mangabe sengize Rap Life. Got develop a relationship now more than anything because we found out we both have such a huge passion for technology, nezinto zo music, and so babili sizintwana iphuma from nothing ukuthola leyo madlana encane and we still planted back into the music.
Yeah, that's true.
What happened, and I'll understand if there's things you can't say, but kwenzakaleni mfethu, why? Because in ebuhlungu kumina, and hopefully I'll get a chance to ask the other guys this as well on the show, but in ebuhlungu kumina is Black excellence. I saw an amazing, obviously I'm on the outside looking in because mina na masikhuluma most of the time sikhulumela ngabantwana, sikushayela ama jokes, sikhulume ngomusic, sikhulume nangama gadgets nani or siringe as out to out, but not business. We never talked about the business side of things that you're involved in. And I mean from where I was standing I was seeing just young Black guys.
Yeah, I remember you used to ask Mawunze. I remember endlini mawufika uhlala ubuza uthi ekuse igrocery khona uyadla uright yonke into imnandi.
Yeah, because for me those are important.
Umuntu bangibuza le imibuzo leyo except for wena.
Really?
Bekangekho. Even na no. Anyeka ngifonela umuntu beka close nami months ago abuza ukuthi awuthi am grand abantwana ba right yonke into imnandi nix. Ubone ukuthi besihlangene ngomusic. the idea of family thing bekuyi play nje yabo. Mara I wouldn't say the gents like abangenzelanga nix. Yabo bangenzela izinto ezibhaya of which I'm grateful for, but I felt like they could have done better in a way yokuthi noma sihlukana wazi ukuthi mawulele ebusuku Makwa right.
Yes.
Like une show yokuthi la imali ugrand.
Yeah.
Yayibona lento le. And enye into a lot of people ngizobe ngicala ukuzwa ngami lento manje. I was the only artist signed under Rap Life.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes, it doesn't. I only found out. Yazi mina too curious ngento eziningi. Ngabhala kuma Pro business what ngasearcha ukuthi iRap Life owner ubani. This is me ngizihlalele ngizidakele insango. Ngabhala mangisearcha oyavele uthi Rap Life owner ubani oy owner umuntu oyi1. Okay then why lo munye yena nga own nalo munye yena own. Ngisearche the other company of which is entertainment esifikele kuyo before kuba iRap Life. Nakhona mangifika ngithi owner umuntu oyi1 naye and the other guy akekho on both of these shandis of which kusho ukuthi naye bekasayiniwe kule enye ekungasi Rap Life. Yonke into yenze isense ngeCovid mase isondele COVID nami ngokuba curious kwami and then lento leyo eyangibonisa ukuthi reason siphelele khona manje ukuthi omunye nomunye bekana amaphupho akhe different lo bekane idea yakhe ukuthi le moto ngizoyidrive kanje nalo athi hayi mina ngizoyidrive kanje le moto le and makunjalo anyeke nizwane. This thing is like, have you seen the movie Pacific Rim?
Yes.
Le robot le yani control abantu abayi2
but kumele behambisana
nibe in sync.
Kumele bebe in sync.
Ningabi group mara nibe in sync. Iflop ukuthi azange kwaba like dog like I feel like bekungagijinyiswa iphupho one. Iphupho eli1 belingagijinyiswa at all.
Expand nje on the same project but the end goal was different.
Wabona ama tensions fade yabo ezinye izinto you miss them, you know. Ezinye you don't want to ask about them because uzabe so ubuza izinto ezingakufuni yabo lezo zinto lezo. Mara being around abantu abaqale into eyi1 babodwa mara in different spaces. Let's say ngizoba nalo uzongitshela lokhu nalokhu angitshele kona. Nini ngibe nalo naye angitshele lento angitshele yona and then wena so usala manje so semaphakathini because
uyazibuza manje. Yes.
Because mina ngisingumuntu ozohamba ele ngithi ya ubani ungitshele ukuthi wena hey bla 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 or loyana ungitshele ukuthi hey wena bla bla bla.
Because the industry spana kanjalo.
Mara ithema iphela iRap Life. Kula ngibe nesibindi khona so ukuthi ekuse yazi ngifonela umuntu so ukuthi wena ungiphethe this much and much like what's going on because sengidina ilento yokuthi umuntu ufika ngifunze lento angifunza yona ukuthi kumele ngiyolwa nobani.
Yes,
because mina no KWESTA's right like we actually working on his album.
That's brilliant. I'm very happy to hear that.
Mina nice kanje siyaspana all the time uyangifonela makafuna something and I'm always there nami ngidinga something ngiyamtshela ngithi ekuse hey imoto yami idinga amabriki khawathekile. Liyabuza imali nanginika imali ngiyenza into engiyenzayo. And then as for the other guys, I mean ezinye zezinto wena raza life abantu bayafika abandlule. It's life. They are there to teach you a lesson and kumele uyifunde lesson ngoba mawungayifundi
komele uthole umuntu othisha futhi.
No uzobe ungazazi ukuthi uphilelani. Mara lesson learned manje ngiphusha umzonkonko records of which ngayiregister ngisase Rap Life.
So khona lento bethu
publishing.
Yes,
because the Mshupelo thing it was my idea.
That I know that.
Yeah. Isn't they ganjalo?
No one knows that.
I'm not even part of them now.
Wait, are you not part of the upcoming Mshupelo?
Ngagcina ukuba iphathi yayo kudala.
Mina bengithi ibingedo ngabhukwa. Mara mina nginengoma.
Besides ukubhukwa. Ukubhukwa ngizoperforma fade because it's a good thing to do. Mara.
Wait, so when you're saying mina ngithi awukho ku line up mara as part of the organizers usekhona.
Uqeda ukwenza yonke into ukuthi ekseni ntwana nali 100 stina nyana. Kusebenzekile nali 40 kubhedi.
As one of the founders.
And I understand because omunye umuntu angaza ngokuthi mara ubekanga nix etafuleni manje investor kuyo lento le. Mara dog, I came up with the idea, the name. Angama manje umuntu athi uma kukhuluma manga blah 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 mara deep down ivar liyaziwa like mangabo ungazi from one days.
Yes.
Since ngumshubhelist from way back.
Ngiyakwazi.
Till the idea of umshubhelo festival and then ngasuswa kuwo. Mara ku right yazi why ngizoyenza umzonkonko festival.
Nice. And we'll be there.
I'm a creatives. I feel like ngeke waqede because uzoyitshontshela or uyihlukanise nento ezengayo uzocabangenge because mina ngisomuntu okudwela into enzakudala fede yabo because life ngithatha is a lesson. Whoever ngihlangana naye or wherever la ngihamba khona I lesson game.
But too, well, and they show you it's of critical importance to me because, especially the part of Wuti Zotua, you didn't put anything on the table, but you put up an idea. Because we have this tendency of saying an idea without imali is useless.
Mm-hmm.
But imali without an idea is also useless.
Yeah, you can have a lot of money, mangana plan.
Mangana plan is man. And I would argue the idea itself is a little bit more useless. Is a little bit more useful than money.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes certain aspects of the idea can start moving in malingagafik.
That's true.
Idea can sometimes generate its own money which is invested. Marimali Zawamashonisa. That's it. Mali doesn't put a creative idea together. Mali just takes it to the people.
Yeah, booster con.
Kuzo zonke vet lezinto lezi siqeda ukukhuluma ngazo. You've had a rough upbringing, seems like a rough childhood, a rough start into your passion and your talent, a rough start into the career. And then now when the whole world stops, you realize which your world was also not exactly what you thought it was.
I almost died years before 21 days lockdown. Accident.
I was very worried about you, I must say.
Yeah, I remember.
Because like I understand as I'm a creatives thina mfethu inhliziyo zethu zila ngaphandle zila hayi ngaphakathi and because our music touches people in such an emotional way. Like I've always said to you, indlela engithanda ngayo intwana se6 la ngoma leya, it's a fun song. Mara mina mangabe ngidlala ngidrive ngekhaya kusebusuku nokukhala, because it reminds me about everything I've come from. It reminds angiyona wase6 at all,
your origins,
but my origins and ngiyazi ukuthi bebethini. Manje sengiphindele ekhaya, those same people bathe besikupporta ufaka ubhiya la, mara ngiyazi ukuthi yini laba benithi ngizenza inika, yini laba benithi sengiyahlanya ngibhema insango.
Iqiniso lelo, iqiniso. Labantu laba ababangayiboni yonke lento, even nala ngibuya khona manje yazi ukuthi raza abantu bafuna ukuthi ube yilento lebo nabafuna ukuthi ube
yes
angeke wena uphile life yakho. I remember ngicela ukuba ne3 series ngathola accident eRivonia. This was like 2 months after or anything like that. I don't remember. Yeah. Bayithatha 3 months imoto. Solo kya imoto ibuya bese ngine 1 series.
Washa. Yes.
Good mangifika khona intwana seKaslami ngihlezi ngixoxa naye.
Oh, that's how you ended up having 2 cars. Uthenge lenenye leninye isayolungisa.
Bangibambezela. Because manje bese ngibiza ngani bese ngiphela inhliziyo ukuthi kuse imoto kanti yabo. So
fruit driver mina.
Baye bathi bengathi uyenzani?
Yes.
iBMW le.
Yes. Seyamhlula.
Mase ngihamba nge1 series 2. Yeah, hey, leyani idura kakhulu, ngeke imkhona ipetrol
downgrade.
Hey, then makuya
mase zi2 bathini?
Ngiyabacindezela mina, why mina? But why mina kanti ngibacindezela ngithi awu
nifunani
benithe izongihlula nathi okay lenye ipetrol affordable manje
sekupersonal.
So le story sentwana yasephuma e6 sikhuluma nalabo bantu labo ukuthi ekuse wena bongangifili bongaphili MarazA bengibhuca udaka 2012
yini ukubhuca udaka sami.
I was a dagger boy for people who build like houses. Yeah. Ngaya lapha kula Magrotman ngathi kuse ngicela ukunisiza ningibone ngaloko ningibona ngako. Yabo mina bengazi ngifuna ukuthenga studio equipment nyana maybe because I had just found out ukuthi kune condenser mic and besingayisebenzisi. So mina till today ngihlezi curious ukuthi hey why voice kalo isounda kamnandi.
Yes.
Mara my sound ifandi what. So ngayobhuca udaka for like months ngibhuca udaka ngudaka boy. Kwaze kweza ne-best friend yami ithi kimi hayi mina nye ngicela isikole ngibhuca udaka because bengifunda multiracial school ngisho so ekhaya bangidisowner just cause ngibhemezoli uletha amantombazane endlini plus angifuni nokuya esikolweni. That was like the worst of them all.
Kodwa so uyalahlwa because of that.
Yeah, mele ngizibone ukuthi ngiphuma kanjani. And ngazibona and ngiyabonga nakuthi today ngisazibona ukuthi ngiphuma kanjani. Sesi right gate God. So umngani wami athi kimi anyeke ngithi ngiphume multiracial school bese ngiyobhuca udaka. Yana ngisho since afaila waze wayishaya matric mashaya matric ushaya mina sengicede isikole like sengina 2 years 3 years ngicede isikole.
Yeah.
All right mina ngibhuca udaka cause ngiyazazi ngifunana ngisho.
Yeah.
Yana ngilibhuca udaka serious ngize ngibe grof nezandla like bese ngasajoli nokujola la.
Uzothi bamba ithanga ushiya ama mark
Because into beyifaka abantu umqondo ukuthi le beyifunda esilungwini.
Yes.
Yabo mama I won't lie yena uyenzile imizamo yokuthi anginikele life yabo kube nala mina naye singa-understandani khona yabo manje simnandi manje well khona la mara uyazi umzali nomntwana into zakhona
akohlezi kunama disagreement.
Yeah mara simnandi bangidisowne ekhaya ngazithenga lezi zinto lezi zokurekhoda. On the last day mina ngikhwitha umsebenzi angibajeli ngoba sengiziphethe into zami so bangilande ekseni bathi woza ndoda siyogupha kuphi ngithi ayikabi bafowethu mara niyayazi calling yami ngabe ngizela ukuzohlanganisa so sengimnandi ngicabanga ukuthi icontract yami nani iphelela la. Yazi labo bhuti bathini bathi hayi wena dala sikubona vele push into eyiphushayo thina sibonga ukuthi usisizile.
Wow dude.
Last bekangibona omunye wakhona akajabule nginto ajabule like athi DJ yazi bengihlele ngibukele TV nomfazi wami ngithi nayi le ndoda bengibhucela udaka.
Ha sekakubona manje lentwana le beyiphusha isipana la yini
bengisebenzela beyibhuca udaka
isebenzela uku-investor into his own dream.
Yeah le Grootman la ngibona ngihleli vele phakathi kwemoto yami ngivule ne-sunroof yazi ngivele kangaka
chisa
athi DJ ungibiza ngo DJ.
Yeah plus abantu abadala vele mangabe bazi ukuthi wenza music u DJ bani.
Yeah when we are rapper uyacula uthi laphuthi he was happy like bengicala ukubona umuntu ojabule ukundlula umama wami khathi ngimtshela ukuthi ngiphasa umatric.
That's amazing.
Umama azange believe mangimtshela ngiphasa umatric athi wena
because watshela ukuthi izolo izokufeyilisa
athi wena never phasa umntana se next door only to find ukuthi umntana se next door uyofeyilile.
Now mfethu into engiyengithanda ukuyenza lana is to really ukukhuthaza abantu abasha by them getting a chance to hear the real story from the people they look up to. And namhlanje I've got someone who really looks up to you. Igama lakho LTD Fresh. He's all the way from Mpumalanga. So ngifuna ukuthi he said he's got a few things that he'd like to ask you. Hopefully we have the time for one question. LTD.
How are you?
I'm
good.
Welcome to it, mfethu. Welcome to the podcast. Nginomakwa mfethu lana. Talk to me. Talk to him. Umtshela ukuthi uba and what question you have for him.
Hey, brother Makwa. How's it, brother?
I'm okay, bro. How are you?
Kumnandi mfana. Igama usibuseni, but I go by the name of LTD. I'm a producer myself / artist as well / photographer. Basically, I'm a creative in general.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Awuzwe-ke.
Bona, there's something I wanted to always ask because the game as it is right now, it's pretty much open, but at the same time, kunzima for producers and artists to make that breakthrough. Yes, go on hard work is a factor, but then what measures should one take in order to have that breakthrough without having to change location la ahlala khona indawo like most artists do ukuthi bashiftela baye Joburg in order to have that success in the music industry?
Yazi flop eliningi elenzwa ama-South Africans yini?
Yeah.
Ukungahlali la ukhona wenza into yakho la ukhona. Ngizoyenza example
Exactly.
ngoKing Monada. King Monada fed uzile eJozi bamsayine open mic uzila eMidrand wakhipha iskabara Mureki and then they parted ways. King Monada ubuyelele eLimpopo. Akafika eLimpopo wayenza into yakhe eLimpopo for abantu baseLimpopo.
And they liked him.
And ebheka ukuphi manje uzakhela ama-mention wakhe le Limpopo akusumfana seJozi loyana and I'm sure iJozi akalithanda akal-understand ifandi one. So i-music industry eMzansi ifikela ekutheni nabantu bafuna ukulalela, let's say omunye ufuna ukulalela aboZakwe abo-Big Zulu yabo cause uwumZulu yena, then uzothola owasevenda ufuna ukumamela aboMakhadzi nabomlalo ngoba usevenda, and then uthola ama-Boosman yabo afuna ukulalela uYoungstar nani. So kuzoba nzima ukubreaka through in the SA music industry, especially uma uhlala eJozi cause abantu abaningi kulaba yithola khona wrong land ukuthi uma useJozi uzopopa, uma useJozi uzopopa. Mina I just say iba uwe wenza into yakho la ukhona, if abantu they really fuck with you bazokulandela la ukhona. And ngathi message engayipreacha to everyone who's trying to make it out la hlala khona eJozi. Mele sibenze ngamandiya ama-Bene Plus asekasilawa enza into yakhe eKasilawa invest eKasilawa. Because la eJozi uthenga umuzi la eJozi. iJozi yazi I'm sure now MarazA ufuna ukubuyela emakhaya ne one day maso uretire somewhere uzitholela iplot yakho.
Yabona mina angasebenzi uma ngingenawo umuzi oyisithabathaba back home in the homeland, either ngaseStenga noma ngaseMpangeni or
somewhere ema-rootsini wakho
bese kuba nomhlaba kube nesibaya.
Understand? Yeah. So as a creative I feel like mele wenze yonke into espacing sakho. Abantu if they really fuck with you they will follow you wherever you are. Bazokulandela like best. Indaba thina ama-South Africans sine-flop eli-one. Number one is thanda validation too much from abantu bangaphandle. And sithanda uku-idolize like nezinto zangaphandle. That's why la eJozi mawufika eJozi uthola kuyisiphithiphithi. Ngikhulele la eJozi and ngiyazi iJozi isiphithiphithi too much cause iJozi ifana nejollof. Yazi ijollof idish yama-Nigeria.
That means
jollof rice.
Vele nama-Nigerian vele understand.
Yeah.
So for me I feel like anyeke ucabanga ukuthi mawusuka la usuka khona uze eJozi like you will make it wherever you are. Like nama-South Africans ngifuna sibe neqiniso man ukuthi yo supporta umuntu wherever la khona. They don't need to come to Joburg kuze umsupporte wherever la khona.
Bezohlupheka lana, there's no need for that.
Asikhiphi la eJozi bafu kuyanyiwa.
Next.
Yimpi immediately uphuma ngegate so sempini. Immediately to step out the building.
Uqinisile?
So sempini.
Yeah.
Because mina even to this day angikhona ukuthi mangisuka somewhere sengibuyela angikhona ukuthi ngiyekhaya. Ngithi ngendlini.
Yeah.
Because sendlini akusekhaya. Anginayo makhelwane. I have neighbors but makhelwane anginayo.
Angisho makhelana.
Asakhelananga. Umuntu uyafika.
Yeah. Like where I was staying at Islands North. Abo my neighbors angibazi ngisengahamba ngingabazi.
And nawe bengafuni futhi ukwazi.
Omunye nomkhathi indaba zakhe.
Yeah.
So iJozi lelo. So me I would give you advice ukuthi yes, come to Jozi for lezo zinto zidinga eJozi mara because iJozi yes epicenter yonke into mara ikasi lakho it must be about where you come from more than anything. Bazokulandela abantu abakuthandayo wherever la ukhona.
Bakufica bakuthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LTD, thank you so much for your question, man.
Hey, thank you, Makwa. Hey, that was like insightful, mind opening. Actually, not only to me but to everyone else. Dolalila.
Yeah, one time. I appreciate that. You said you're a producer as well. Where can people get a hold of you?
Mostly Spotify, SoundCloud, like everywhere.
All right.
You should just different.
Okay. No, Naganjani,
Yeah.
thank you so much. This is the power of umculo for me, Mfethu. This is the power of music. This is the power of, also the power of celebrity, even though, but now we're not the kinds of guys who really enjoy that, but you can have a positive influence on people. Especially the power we have to change ipart yomunye umuntu ukuthi ingabi ibhlungu njengeyethu.
Yeah.
Wena mfowethu, after everything we've spoken about, the podcast is called The Life Sofa, as in the life sofa.
Yeah. Sofa, man.
In closing, how is your life so far and how are you improving it going forward?
Okay, my life so far, ngokutshela into eyi-one, Raz. Mina ngijabulile at the same time. Nginezinto eziningi ezingihluphayo emoyeni, yabo.
Yeah. Don't we all?
But I'm happy ukuthi ngenza into engiyifunayo.
Yes.
Ngesikhathi engisifunayo.
Now lokho kasinakho sonke.
Ngijabuliswa na ukuthi la ngibuya khona ngifunde enough ukuthi ngisebenzise lezo zinto lezo manje.
Yeah. Not later.
Yeah, like I feel like yazi uthola second chance ku-chance endlulile.
Yes.
Like angazi ngayibiza.
Ngiyakuzwa, so you missed some chances and ukuphuthela ilawo ama-chance kugaye another chance at life
to
because
stay put. Yebo lento.
Ngoba uphutheliwe, so you stay put.
Yeah, so manje push umzonkonko records.
Yeah.
Ngispana nenja yami u-EQ. No DJ wethu Psycho. Like we young senza into esifuna ukuyenza ngesikhathi esifuna ukusenza. And more than anything happy ukubonisa abantu abaclose kunami like indlela engihambile like nabo abayihambayo. Mara there's people ababonile phambili ukuthi kwenzakalani.
Yeah.
Because njengoba bengitshela earlier ukuthi impilo ufunda ama lessons kwabanye abantu as uphila nawo.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy nokuthi ekasi sekasi abantu bayangibona ekasi siza namanye ama producer ekasi. Like ngithengele izibhaya ama mic.
Really?
Iy'tende ngiphane ngazo iy'pika and akusiza into engizenza emehlweni wabantu because ngiyenza because ngithanda ukuyenza ngiyenza because ngifuna ungibona ukuthi
you're still
even now I'm saying this because ngifuna uku-inspire nomuntu ozobukela lento le ukuthi la abuya khona kumele abuyele emuva yolahlela intambo ukuthi abanye abantu banyuke. Yayibona lento leyo. And enye into futhi, it's not about putting on someone obuye ekasi lakho exactly.
It's just about putting someone on.
Yeah, as long as abuye ekasi namaphupha afanayo. Yayibona lento leyo. And I mean I'm just happy nokuthi industry opinion yami yayimamela like some others they do consider it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of people abangifonelayo like abantu aba successful bangibuza advice abuza.
Yeah. I'm one of them. Well, maybe not so successful, but yes, one of them.
Yayibona lento leyo. So ngijabulile la ngikhona mara ngijabulile. Angicomplain mara zikhona, life is not perfect
at all.
Yeah. Ukuthi nje yabo nami I'm still trying to find my feet. But I believe yonke into izoba smooth.
Mzonkonko Records, you're now giving back to the people, especially Kaslako. In Twana 6 as was around the hood at Ovutaga, ehluleka ebhankiskele ngoba echase le passion your music leyo nto leyo yamxoshisa ekhaya waphasa umetric.
No, isikole ngisibhankanga.
Oh, bengasibhanki.
Bengingasibhankela music. Abosenzo bebabhankela ku-record.
Plus, and look where
mina
it got him now.
bengibhankela ibhankazi ukuthi siyakhabo bani siwenza amahliphi sifike senza amakhelesi kube mnandi
Nifike nishubhele
kodwa isikolo etertiary ngasiyeka first year first day yeah ngabatshela ukuthi no that's not me akusi him loya and I'm actually glad because ngabe ngivuruva umlungu manje ngabo umlungu une deadline uyangivuruvaya like fucked up.
And it's abanye abantu will never understand why abantu aba creative or abantu aba ama artists would rather go through so much hardship njengawe instead whereas abanye they just go and sit at a desk bespanela umuntu for 25,000 rand ebe miserable but abe nemoto abe nendlu abe nokudla.
Yeah,
and
there's affording
different.
life and there's living the life. Isn't as different as the two lezo. So when you are kids ufuna uku-afford life yabo mawukhetha uku-afford life uzosebenzela ophila life.
Uma ufuna uku-afforda i-life
Yeah,
uzozithola usebenzela ophila i-life.
awuthe kuma-gown ekuseni wena uku-traffic ugijimisa ukuyenzela i-20 million
And leyo iphila i-life because ithole wena umuntu ofuna uku-afford i-life wena oyisebenzelayo.
mina ebezifunda esikolweni ngazitshela ngathi iyani niyofunda ngizonicasha uma sengidinga i-lawyer ne-accountant yabo financial advisor daso like sonke ngeke siye the book way.
Yes,
Mara ngithi isikole sibalulekayo isikole sibalulekile ukuba konje yini literate Maulit understands literate.
Yeah, Maulit they can rate you.
And
if you're lit, they can rate you.
That's the guy.
Literate.
Cause uyivulile incwadi. Phela the last time mina ngibhala i-CV bengiseklasini e-LO.
Ha!
Angizange ngibhale anyway i-CV.
And umuntu obukele ekhaya uzocabanga ukuthi usho ukuthi you've never had a job. No. All that means is i-CV yakho beyihlezi ila.
Uma ikhulumela.
That's it.
And umsebenzi ugcwele yonke indawo. Laba ama-South Africans ningi lawo uthi ngithi ningi lethu slaves.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
Slaves. Akekho umuntu la
Ukuvudaka wena and you used Leoko to get where you are.
Ngingathola i-chance yokuzula ngiseSenegal. Where they were shipping slaves nani. Mangifike eSenegal ngisho nabantwana abancane wonke umuntu usemsebenzini.
Yeah, ingane.
Thengiswa kwasani like kufuna imali like akuna umuntu ozocomplain ukuthi hayi mina ngizule netroli yamatamati la ilanga lonke ngishizo ilanga mara weekend ufuna ukubaleka amtayito rebiblo so RK phuza amaphiya serious. And enye into enginotisile MarazA youth yala eMzansi utshwala sibeke phambili
i-lockdown beyisabathe
yabo awuthi kuthengela amabhiya anyeke ikutshele ngokuthi kune-job opportunity la isipana khona
no ngeke
because kumele kuthuma ama-eyes
yes iyayidinga leyo power.
That's the life we live in now.
That is definitely the life we're living. But I'm really, really grateful for you sharing your story namhlanje. It's beautiful to hear ukuthi even though you've gone through so much and it's story sakho is not something we can get through in the 1 hour we've been talking. We've been talking for almost an hour, but it feels like so 10 minutes now.
Phela mangatshela abantu ukuthi cishe bangirophi Dakar2 kathi siyenza la iJose MTN rank. They wouldn't have Dakar2.
Yazini asivele sibuye futhi ngelinye ilanga because this show is all about impilo and its progression. It's not about life forever after. It's not about life in a different life form. It's about this person's life so far.
Current news
zanjengamanje. Ngiyabonga kakhulu mfethu for coming out and sharing your story. Thank you to LTD out there for coming out and posing that question. I really hope you got as much from that answer as I always do from my sessions with Uhomie. From Intercessor ikhulumile namhlanje, if there's one thing that I can take is this. Zazi wena ukuthi ufunani, zazi wena what you're willing to give up to get what you want, zazi what you're not willing to compromise to get what you want, and then just keep sticking to those lines because you will always find abantu abazofuna ukunyathela phe kwakho. And mawukuthi for that moment lolo nyawo yakhona ukulukuka because you realize ukuthi lizokusiza to get to lento wena oyifunayo, do it. everyone is looking out for number one, but we don't have to crush number two just to do it. Ungaba number one, ngamandla akho wedwa.
That's true.
And
don't sleep on yourself.
No, don't sleep on yourself. Don't sleep on others. And if you do sleep on others, there's many people who slept on this man. You be humble enough to go back and say, I bengabon sengiyabona.
Yeah, you know, kuze kanjani ukuthi ngisuke from a producer ukuthi ngithi fuck manje sekuzocola mina manje.
Nope.
Because I left, like I felt left out. Ngiyabona mawuse label ni yabo rapper. Dilwa nge-rap.
Yeah.
Wena u-rapper ngisho yenza ama-beat. Kwamanye ama-conversations awukho included. Because you just don't know what we are talking about. Even if you know, mara awuna say because
abakurate in that regard, abakubheka.
Into engenza ukuthi ngidecide nami ukuthi fuck, ithi nami ngisho i-story sami because akekho ozongimamela. Hayi ukuthi mina plan lami ukuthi ngizoproduce mase ngilade ngiyenza lento le.
No.
Bengifuna ukuba u-DJ kudala mina. Bekuyile iphupho lami lelo. And God unelinye plan naye yabo engingalazi. Naku manje sengiya record music and I'm actually enjoying it. And I always tell people ukuthi nami ngisafunda.
Yes.
Khona abantu abafike before mina and ngifunda kubo a lot because indlela ibuzwa kwaba phambili.
Yeah.
Lokuthi mina ngifunda lento le sengila ngikhona manje. It's like ufunda ukudrive so se highway. Bathi kuse udriver sekakhathela ufuna ukulala.
Okay, boy.
Yeah. Bathi abheke kusele 300 kilometers.
Ungasibulali.
Yeah, it's like that. Ngiyene nami ngidecide ukucula sengila, yabo.
Superkazi.
Yeah, so anyeke ifane nomuntu. Anyeke ifane ne bengazi ukuthi ngiyenze indlala ingimele ngicale.
Snap.
Understand?
Yeah.
Anyeke isifane kanjalo. But I'm learning. Ngisazofunda ngichubeke ngokufunda njalo.
Indeed. Nathi-ke sizoqhubeka sikulethele these interviews on the Life So Far podcast. He's done so many things at so many stages in his life, but that's just how life is. You do what you need to do based on how life is so far. Ngizokubona emva kwalokho. Well, this is embarrassing. I really didn't think I'd have to be doing this on the very first episode of my podcast, but here we are. First and foremost, to all of you who tuned in, watching this premiere live on Friday last week, thank you so much for trying your best to stick around, even though the network was horrible. It was one of the worst streaming experiences I've ever had, and I tried everything I could to fix it as we went, but I do not have full control over my internet service provider, and it seems they do not have full control over their service neither. At least we have the Makwa interview, and I think it is some of the most inspiring content I've ever been a part of. I'm hoping to bring you so much more of it. Another thing though that I must point out, and again my sincerest apologies, as a consequence of all the other errors I was experiencing, the software I used to record these things did not capture the audio of how the show was supposed to end, with my co-host of the day, Braillo man Mr. Bully, all the way from Nelspruit. So the footage you're seeing in the background is of him and I having a chat, discussing some of what Makwa had spoken about, and of course, the impact that shows like this, shows like the Life So Far podcast, could and should have on not only our industry, but also young people at large. Braillo, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate having you as my co-host. If you yourself would like to be my co-host in the future, please subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a single video, and leave a comment down below. Tell me why you should be chosen as a co-host one of these days. And who knows, on the next episode, you and I just might be rocking together, and you best believe each episode is going to be better than the last one. But with that in mind, thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video. Remember, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, hit that like button so more people can see this. We recently hit 6,000 subscribers. Thank you all so very much. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. And of course, I will be catching you very soon on the next episode, coming to you live from the Life So Far. Ngintanda nonke, I'll be seeing you very soon.